Hey folks, welcome to my last episode of 2020, Season 4 of MoCoS4E20. 420, I know. I've heard that. I've done that. Anyway, I'm going to try and talk about a bunch of different things, what's happened since I started, what's happened since the beginning of this vlog, and some of the things that may happen in the future. So I'll give you an example of that. So stick around. More cowbell. More cowbell. More cowbell. Most cowbell. Okay, so starting with what I did last week with the looper, I've been messing around with it a little bit more, and I have it so that I've arranged three different tracks, three different what would you call them, sequences, and I can press this button and go from one to the other. I have a few different things. So this is the foot switch thing. I don't think, yeah, I can do it when it's not playing. It won't play until I go over there and hit it. So, but, oh yeah, and I should mention that I'm using this little box amp, this little tiny 50 watt, all plastic, digital amp. It's, I don't know, it could be the future, folks. I don't know. I still like my Marshall, but this thing is pretty cool. It has a lot of different sounds. I'm not going to go through it. This is not a, I'm just going through it right now. So. A lot has happened over the past 6 months. We had the shutdown of the city, and here it is, July, the end of July, be August next week. The city is no longer shut down. We're in phase 4 of reopening. But what's funny is that even though the infection rate is less than 1% now in New York State, which we're pretty happy about, and the deaths are way down, but if you go out in the city, you'll see everybody is wearing a mask. Just saying that, in the beginning, you hardly saw anybody with a mask, and now everybody is doing it. And I think that the reason is that we all realize that as uncomfortable and as weird as it is to wear a mask everywhere you go, it's better than being locked in your house for a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it was. I don't know. It just seemed like it was going on forever. So we're very happy. We'll wear the freaking mask, whatever we have to do to stay safe and get back to some semblance of normal. One thing that's happened that's kind of good, though, is that I've really gotten more into doing the videos and things like that, and also watching other videos. There's a lot of different YouTube channels that I watch almost religiously. This guy, Tom Bouchard, is a great YouTuber, and I mean, he just started it. When this coronavirus started. I mean, he's got some videos from years ago, but it's not much. But he started this thing called homeschooling, where he does a lot of, I don't know, it's the kind of thing you want to watch in the morning. He plays a little bit of amazing guitar, and then he talks about life in general, and then he does this thing called viewer comments from the comment bin. Viewer comment bin. He changed it to VCB, but then he changed it back today, so to viewer comment bin, and I think it's really cool. He writes down comments that he wants to respond to, and then he does that. And so, as an experiment, I'm going to do that, because I try to comment. I'll reply to people, but he actually reads the comments out loud, says who they are, and then goes on a little bit of a digression about what they talked about. So I'm going to try that today. Oh, here's a cool thing, is that as I've been going out and finding different people's YouTube channels, people have been finding my channel. So I am up to 998 subs, okay? So when I started this, I had about 500 or so. Anyway, so let's go to the comment bin, viewer comment bin. Okay, so this is, I'm just copying Tom Bouchard. Oh, I forgot to say the other people that I watch religiously. Warren Huart, who mixed our Million Miles More record, has a great Produce Like a Pro. If you want to learn how to mix and how to arrange things and do a production thing, that's one of the things you can do. RJ Ronquillo, killer guitar player, played on Reimaginos on my project, and also I've been following him for years, since 2012, something like that. So he's a great guitar player, does an excellent YouTube video. His production values are very, very high. So he's great. Thomas Lang, same with him. He's an amazing drummer. His production values are high. There's somebody else that I like, Taylor Gordon, who is a female drummer. She's a youngster, and her production values are not that high, although she goes to these events, and so she has some videos that are quite good. So this is a comment from somebody, and all of these comments are from episode 17, which was the Guitars of Reimaginos. So this is from Elvis Soma. It says, "Your intro reminds me of the start of Les Invisibles." Now he means the intro to my Most Cowbell vlog this season. And that is because I actually copied the intro. I didn't use the intro that I used on the record, but I replayed it with, where it goes, "Dance the Don Pedro." It's like this. It goes, it's like, more cowbell, like that, right? And then it goes to this chord. Or actually, and that's how it ends. So, anyway, that's from Elvis Soma. And then Imaginos Desdenova made a comment, given how much work you've done on Reimaginos, the calluses on your fingers must have calluses of their own. Thanks for giving your all to your music and bringing new life to one of the greatest concepts of all time. Now, thank you very much for that comment. That means a lot to me. I've done a lot of work on Imaginos. The original Imaginos had a ton of work. This came together relatively quickly because I didn't have to write the songs. I incorporated a lot of the arrangements that were already developed for Imaginos, like on Del Rio's song, it's almost the same, or even Les Invisibles, very similar to the record. Magna, exactly the same, almost the same drum part, you know. I'm the One You Warn Me Of, almost exactly the same, you know. The difference is, you know, instead of Buck Dharma or Tommy Morangello, I've got Ross the Boss playing on it, you know. But so I did most of the work a long time ago, years of work, and so this record came together in about 2 months. 2 months of recording the basic tracks, you know, basically me, David Hirschberg on bass, me on drums, Hirschberg on bass, and me playing a guide guitar, which then I redid, a whole slew of guitars, lots of acoustic guitars. So yeah, and playing acoustic so much, it really does, you know, even now my fingers are still really hard. And as far as giving all to my music, I have no choice. I have to do that. That's just that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you do it as good as you can, and that's all you can do. And as far as the greatest concepts of all time, I don't know about that, but I will say this, that for me, when I was doing it originally, I was like, this is really good. I think this is the best thing I've ever written. And I don't know if I still feel that way, but I do feel that it is something that is really good, and it really deserved to have a little, you know, I started listening to the record and feeling like, oh, this is a little too fast. It's a little too coked out, you know. Some of the songs just don't sound like, they sound like it's trying to promote the band, to promote the players, rather than promoting the songs and making the songs understandable, and you know, making all the lyrics like very clear about what they're about, and having the exact vibe that the lyrics suggest. So yeah, thank you for that comment though. Okay, now this, I'm sure I'm gonna obtain ebration, Okay, I'm certain I'm screwing your name up. Reimaginos. Head spinning with excitement. Oh, well, me too. I can't wait for it to come out. You know, I'm holding off so as a joke and promote his record. And also, I'm also not going to try and compete with Blue Oyster Cult. Their record is coming out in October. And, you know, I don't, you know, and, you know, it's a big deal. They haven't done a record in ages. I do a record every year, at least. Sometimes like 3 or 4 records. So yeah, this is, but mine is, I want mine to have its own little space and the media. Okay, Saxton Hale. Chills at the Imaginos riffs, and I'm obsessed with the new project. hanging on to every bit of intro. Well, Saxon, don't you worry, because I have plans. We're going to spend, this is my last episode of this vlog, so I'm going to spend the rest of the summer making videos. I'm going to make a couple music videos for the 2 singles. I'm going to make little videos talking about each and every song. And not only am I going to be talking about it, but David Hirschberg is going to talk about his involvement. Hopefully Joe and RJ Ronquillo, Ross the Boss, will be talking about what he did. So it's going to be a lot of information. You know, you're going to be able to geek out on this for sure. Maybe I'll even get some of the people that played on the original to talk about it as well. And lastly, I mean, there was a lot more comments, but I don't have time for any more. But the last one I'm going to talk about is La Casa Nostra. Given all the guitars that you played over the years, which one is your favorite and why? You can only choose one. Oh man, that's like really hard. I mean, I'm digging this one. It's a little tricky to intonate because it's got the traditional Tele 3 saddle arrangement, which is the only one that's hard is the 2 in the middle, the G and the D, because you got a wound and an unwound. But anyway, but no, my favorite guitar that I played, I actually own that guitar, and that is my Sir. So that guitar, and the reason is it has a mahogany neck. It feels very warm. It doesn't have a shiny finish like this. It's kind of got a dull finish, so it feels warm on your hands. The fretboard is a 9.5, just like this Tele. I like that, the 9.5 radius, that Fender radius. But it's graduated. You know, this is not really graduated. So that's graduated as you go up. It gets a little flatter, gets a little. So that the vibrato is ultra smooth. The sound of the pickups are super clean if you want them. It also has a button that you can press where the bridge pickup goes directly to the jack, so that if you want a little bit more bite, you can get that, you know, just by pressing a button. So it's a fantastic guitar. It's from out of the box. It was intonated perfectly. I've had it for 4 years, and still I've never had anybody do any work on it. It's still perfect. It's got locking tuners. It's got a graphite nut. It's the best guitar I've ever played, and the most fun to play. It plays itself. It plays like Richie Castellano's Fedora, which I got to play, and that's, oh my God. Well, he's the one that, you know, who inspired me to get that guitar, because I was playing my SG and my SGX, and that's a good guitar. It's a good Gibson guitar, but you have to fight a little bit to you know, to get it to sound right, just like this one. But Richie's guitars, his good guitars, man, they seem like it's like butter. So yeah, he's got some, you know, of course he's son of a music store owner, so he would know. So, but that inspired me to go on a hunt for a great guitar, and I went through a lot of different music stores and tried hundreds of guitars before I found this guitar. And I thought, this is as good as Richie's guitar. And then when we were working on a project one day at my house, I said, hey, check this out. You think this is as good as yours? And he's like, yeah, it's all right. Anyway, well, I hope you enjoyed this series. Have a good week, have a good month, have a good 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, whatever it is. I'll be back next year. Maybe I'll start a little earlier. So thanks for watching. Take care. Stay well.